Hey, so it is November 1st, and I want to take a few minutes just to share what I'm grateful for today. And maybe we'll get together every day this month and just chat about what I'm grateful for. And in the comments, you can tell me what you're grateful for too, because I want to know. I want to know. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. So today, I am grateful for where I am today in 2025, November 1st, 2025, in comparison to 10 years ago. Not just for my family, or not just for me, but also my family. 10 years ago, my late husband Mark passed away from leukemia. And to say that I was devastated and didn't know how to function and had to take to the bed is an understatement. Processing grief for Mark was something that I had no idea how to do. I tell you, and I'll just say right off, if you hear some dogs barking, we're just going to ignore them, okay? Because we're going to make this video, and I'm going to share with you what I'm grateful for, and then you're going to tell me what you're grateful about, and we're not going to worry about any dogs. So, okay. I tell you what, that Mark, he loved me so well, and he taught me what it meant to be loved well. He taught me how to love well, and I was his princess, and I didn't have to do anything I didn't want to do. I didn't know how to do any of the outside things. Didn't need to. He took care of them all. He did most of our cooking. He did a lot of things. And every morning when I got up, he would have me a nice little cup of coffee sitting with a paper towel on it right there on my nightstand. And when he would wake me up, he would put it right there every morning. Yeah. He loved me so well, and when he was gone, I had lost my best friend. I had lost the person that I was closest to on this planet. I had lost my biggest cheerleader, my biggest comforter. All the things that were safe and secure that at that time gave me confidence in who I was, because I didn't know any better. All of those things of who I was as his wife, who I was as the boy's mom, and being his wife, like when he passed away and he was gone, you don't know how to think straight. You don't know how to process some thoughts. The brain fog is just immensely dark brain fog, and it is dark, and I didn't know how to function for a very long time. When I finally did go back to work, I would go to work and I would come home and I would go to the bed. Gave my boys my check card to get food, groceries, whatever they needed, whatever they would make the food or go pick it up. And like, I'm so thankful for my boys during that time. They took care of me because I was so grieving the loss of Mark. He was my everything. He was my everything. I didn't know how to I didn't know how to live without him. And it was so hard. And I was so broken. And I was so undone. And I don't know that everybody's experience is like that. And that isn't my place to know or to even try to understand. All I know is my experience and what it was like for me. And so that's all I can speak to. But when I tell you that I was broken, I was shattered in pieces. And I didn't know how to do any of the like practical things. He took care of everything. Like most things, like big stuff, right? Like, I didn't know how to start the lawnmower. I couldn't use his weed eater. I couldn't pull the string thing. How to get a battery one. My boys had to teach me how to start the lawnmower and operate the riding mower. My friend had to teach me how to put air in my tire. Thank you. I love you, girl. You know who you are. And gosh, so many things. Like, it's crazy because even though you are you, it's like the overwhelming grief and it's like a big old cloud of darkness just comes over you. And even things that like wouldn't normally cause you doubt or like to being confident, or it just wipes the grief and all of that. It wiped me out. And I don't even know. Not function is just all I keep coming back to. It was hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. And man, I'm not there today. I'm not there today. And I'm so thankful. The only reason I am not there today is nothing but the grace of our Lord Jesus. Nothing but the grace of him. He has put my heart back together. It will never be the same. My goodness, when I say I miss him, I can't even express how much I wish he was here and how much I miss him. I would not want him here as sick as he was. I would not want him here like that, ever. I know he's in heaven. I know he doesn't have cancer anymore. I know he's healthy and happy and joyful. Excuse me. I know he's healthy and happy and joyful. I know that I don't know if there's hunting in heaven, but if there is, he's doing it. He's getting the big bucks and the does, so he can have some big antlers on his wall, on his mansion wall, and he's gonna have some good doe meat. That's what he's got going on, and he's loving it. When he's not praising the Lord, yeah. So he was so sick, and I believed so strongly that God was going to heal him here on earth. I thought we were going to have this amazing story to tell of just this miracle healing, and I believed it to my core, and it didn't happen. So on top of losing the love of my life, the person who taught me how to love, the person who taught me what it meant to have a good husband-wife relationship, the person that taught me what love was, on top of losing them, on top of losing my biggest cheerleader, the person that I could just literally stand in the kitchen with and him just wrap his arms around me and us just be quiet. And then all was right in the world. My best friend, the person that knew me best. On top of losing that person, I just knew to my core that God was going to heal him, and he didn't. I believed with everything in me that God was going to answer our healing prayer on this earth. God answered a healing prayer from Mark in heaven. And I know that he is there, and I know he's good. He's excellent in heaven. But I don't get to have him. I didn't get to have him anymore. He loved me so well, and that was the most real love that I had ever had in my life. And I was so sad it was gone. He loved me so well, and I was so sad it was gone. And then on top of that, God told me no. And I know that God, how powerful God is, and I know that he can do anything in this entire universe. He made this universe. But he didn't heal Mark here. And so everything in me was just tore apart. My faith had just been stomped on and ripped apart. My person was gone. I didn't know how to function. And it took me so long to even feel like I was making some forward movement. It took a long time. It took a long time. It was a very long road. I had lots of conversations with the Lord. He and I had lots of disagreements, lots of hard conversations, lots of spilling my heart out to him, lots of therapy, lots of grief counseling, lots of grief group workshops, so much self-help that I have been through and done over the past 10 years is just crazy. So many Bible studies, and so many people in my life that have just God put there as instruments to help me take this next baby step, and this next baby step, and this next baby step. Different programs that I have been involved in, different counselors and coaches that I have had that have helped me grow and take those next baby steps. Family, I don't know what I would have done without my 2 boys, I feel like they probably saved my life. I had to do the work that I had to do so that they could have a healthy mom. I had to do the work that I had to do so that they could have a healthy mom. They already lost their dad. Like a year and a half later, they lost their grandma. And I had to make sure that I was okay for my boys. And so I kept putting one foot in front of the other, one baby step at a time. And man, it's hard. With capital HARD. Hard. Capital. But you know what I have learned? What I have learned is I'm a lot stronger than I thought. I can do so many more things than I thought I could do. I learned, not only did my boys teach me how to use the lawnmower, use a weed eater, even though I still use like a battery powered weed eater. Dude, I was cutting up trees that would fall out in our field or whatever, with a chainsaw. Now, grant you, it was a battery powered chainsaw, because again, I can't pull the thing, but still, I was cutting up some trees. And then, sometimes when I would be mowing, I would try to get really close to the edge, of the fence. So, like the fence line to our neighbor, so I wouldn't have so much weed eating to do. And daggone it, when I would do that, there was like these briars or whatever. A couple times I got too close and I ran over like a briar bush or whatever, poked holes in the lawnmower tire. So at that point, both of my boys were off in the military. It was just me and my dog, right? So here I am out there YouTubing and figuring out, Googling or whatever, how to take off the daggone tire off the John Deere. So I would take the tire off the John Deere and take it over to the John Deere place and have them fix it, and then I'll come back and put it on. So I learned how to change the tire on the lawnmower. Now, I never had to change the tire on my vehicle. I would call like roadside assistance or whatever for that. But I changed those tires on that lawnmower a couple times. And then one time, I was mowing, and again, not paying attention to the fact that there was a rope, and I wasn't paying attention. I ran over the top of that rope, wasn't even thinking. The rope got wrapped around the blades of the lawnmower. So here I am having to take the blade off of the lawnmower. So I like pulled it up on the ramps, these metal ramps. I'm underneath there getting the rope untangled from the blades of the lawnmower. And I know to some of y'all that probably seems silly, but I never had to do any of that kind of stuff before. And I just thought I couldn't do things like that. But you know what? I can, and I did. I learned how to do a lot of stuff. Now, the same friend that had to teach me how to put air in my tire, which I know how to do now, thank you to her. I did have to call her one time to come get a lizard out of my house when my dog brought a lizard in. I wasn't touching the lizard. This friend, I'm telling y'all, she's golden. I love her so much. I don't know what I would have done without her. I have a handful of friends. I don't know what I would have done without. But all I know is the Lord put them right in my path. He put them right in my path. my very first birthday, my first Valentine's Day, so many of my firsts after Mark passed away. Another friend of mine, she made sure to celebrate me on every one of those special occasions. I think it was my first birthday, my first Valentine's Day, our first anniversary after Mark was gone, the anniversary of his passing. She always made sure to celebrate me and honor Mark, and she's so invested in me. She invested in my well-being. She invested in my healing. I have several friends. I have another friend that she listened to me cry to her so many times. She would just sit there and listen and comfort me and tell me it was going to be okay, and listen to me talk about that I didn't know who I was without Mark, and all the things that goes through a new widow's mind. And I don't know what I would have done without those three ladies. They showed up time after time after time for me. They were there when Mark was sick, making sure I was okay, making sure I had the things I needed, making sure I was okay with my job. All three of them. During his sickness and after. God used so many people in my life. He used so many tools, so many programs, Bible studies, lots of good positive things, a lot of hard, difficult things, a lot of hard conversations, some relationships that got very messy with friends. The last 10 years have been so much. And it, just to kind of look back, it is only by the grace of God that I am where I am today. It's only by the grace of God that my boys are where they are today. That I have the life that I have the joy and the happiness that I have. There is so much truth to our brains getting stuck in these neuro pathways of just processing negative thoughts that bring us no value, that are not serving us. They might be true. Some of them aren't, but some of them are true. And I finally got to a point where I realized that different thoughts create different emotions for you. And I keep saying that, like, if you see any of my videos, you're going to hear me say that over and over. But it's because it's so true. And, like, you need to know that. And I totally get if you're not there yet, where you can understand that concept and make the decision to make a different choice. I totally get if you're not there yet, because sometimes you have to process the yuckiness. You have to process awful blah, the dark cloud, a shadow. You have to process it. And sometimes you just have to sit in it. Sometimes you have to sit in it, and sometimes you have to sit in it for a long time. And you might logically know you need to do something different, and you can't do it. I was sharing that with somebody this week. You know, they were like, well, you know, if someone in your situation could have, you know, that's why they share with people to do XYZ. Well, okay. Truth. But sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you can't. And if you can't, then you need to be looking at why you can't. And when you're in the middle of that and you just feel stuck and you aren't familiar with how to navigate through that, you don't even know what to do. You don't know how to navigate through it. You don't know how to get to a point where you can try to start making some of those better choices and better decisions, because you don't know what you don't know. And it's like, when you're the one living it, it is so hard to see through the fog. I don't even know any better way to explain it, except that it is so hard to see through the fog. And it is so hard to do those things that you know would help you to move in a better direction. That's why I am just a big proponent of having a good coach in your life. So the difference, and this isn't a plug for me, right? This isn't a plug for me. Work with anybody. Whoever is the best fit for you. There's a place for therapists and therapy to talk about all the things in your past and to get through those types of therapy type things, dealing with the things in your past. There's a time and place for that, and I've done a lot of it. And I'm thankful for it. And then when I got my first life coach, she was just called a coach. She was different. She didn't tell me what to do or didn't just let me talk. She listened. And she asked me questions so that I could think for my own self. So that I could try to understand why I was doing whatever right now. And was that serving me? Is that how I wanted to live? Is that what I wanted for my life? How could I think about it differently? What positive things can I find in the midst, like going on a treasure hunt, as one of my newer coaches calls it. Going on a treasure hunt in the midst of, kind of like Mr. Rogers would say, look for the good and in a bad. I think it was him. Look for the helpers or whatever in bad situations. So go on this treasure hunt in the midst of all the yuckiness and all the bad things and all of the fog. And out of all of that, what are some good positive things that we can take out of there, that we can intentionally start thinking on, so that we can begin to change those neural pathways in our mind, right? One being, I probably would have never learned how to, quite possibly, I may not have ever learned how to use the lawnmower. I sure wouldn't have learned how to change a tire on the lawnmower. Probably, I don't know. I may or may not have learned how to put air in my tire. I sure wouldn't have figured out how to get a rope off of those lawnmower blades. I wouldn't have figured out how to take care of a tree that fell down. I think the bigger thing there isn't that I figured out how to take care of rope on my lawnmower blades, or change the tire, or take care of the tree. The bigger thing is what all those things taught me, and how it has changed and transformed how I think. I don't sit here and wait. Whenever there's a problem or something happens or there's something, I don't sit here and look around to see who's going to help me. I start figuring out, okay, here's a solution, there's a solution. I could do this, I could do that. Okay, of these solutions, which one's the best one that is going to work out? What's most feasible? And I just start troubleshooting. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, what am I going to do? I start figuring it out. Now, that is second nature to me. Do you know that wasn't me 10 years ago? Me 10 years ago, me 10 years ago was laying up in the bed, taken to the bed. Let me get my cough drops. Taken to the bed because I couldn't hardly function. That was me 10 years ago. All right. So what's the long and short of what I'm thankful for today, now that I've rambled on and you've gotten to know me a little bit more? I am thankful for the woman that I am today, the resourcefulness that I have, and that, yes, I know the Lord has saved my soul and is my Savior. But outside of Him, ain't nobody down here on this earth coming to save me. They're not. Nobody on this earth is coming to save me. And I have to be my own superhero. You have to be your own superhero. You have to figure out your own situations and circumstances. You have to know that through the power of having a good, solid, Christian, healthy person, counterpart, to navigate this fog with you, it's what you need. I didn't have all those things in someone that could speak the language in a way that it made sense to me. I didn't have that for the longest time. Yes, there were all these wonderful people and friends in my life that I'm so thankful and they're so dear to my heart. But having someone that was kind of an outsider from the situation, that could take the position of standing on the outside and looking in and having the tools to be able to teach you how to have a different perspective. Yeah. It's important. It's important. It's why I want to be, it's why I want to be doing what I'm doing. Because I want women to know whatever challenge you have, I mean, it could be death. It could be a loss in a different way. It could be a huge life change, like a significant, tremendous life change. It could be going off to college and your whole world's different. It could be graduating high school and your whole world's different. It could be getting a new job and trying to figure out how to be an adult. I'm still learning how to be an adult. I'm 50. Adulting's hard. There's another podcast, another friend that I was listening to recently, just yesterday, and she's a little bit older than me. She's like 52 or 53, I think. And so she was like, a year or so ago, I decided I wanted to be a proper adult. So I wrote and made a list of all the things that what it means to me to be a proper adult. And so I started executing on the list. So I think that was quite interesting. I think I might actually try that. I think that's a good little exercise. I actually worked on one of the things this afternoon, cleaning up my car. It was a mess. But anyway, yeah, we need people to walk with us in this journey that have some tools and skills to help us navigate it. If we can be self-aware enough to know that we need a partner, or hopefully have a friend that can help us see we need a partner to walk through that, it's so important. It's so important. I'm so thankful for my first coach. Her name is Hope, and I'll just say, I don't know if she'll ever see this or not, but if you do, Hope, thank you so much. You have no idea the impact that you have made on my life, and I thank you. I thank you for what you do. Thank you for giving back. Thank you for serving in the capacity that you do to help people. Thank you. You're good peeps, and I miss you. Yeah. So that's what I'm thankful for after the long 40-minute story. I'm very thankful for the transformation in my life, the hope, peace, and joy, and that today I understand how powerful our thoughts are. I understand that it truly is renewing our minds with our thoughts, just like the Bible says. They are the beginning. Our thoughts create our emotions create our actions, and it's this circle that feed off of each other. And then we look back in our rearview mirror. And we don't recognize that person in the rearview mirror. We don't recognize that woman anymore. But man, I am thankful for her, because she got me to the who I am today. I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for her. Very thankful for her. All right. Now you tell me what you're thankful for in the comments. Don't try to not share. I want to know. So put it in the comments. All right. I love you. Talk soon.